everyone. Apologies yesterday. I was supposed to do live. I actually started the live and I went off. Something came up and I didn't do it again. My husband called me and this I've been traveling. I'm not at home, so of course. And he was, gisting. I didn't just want to call him off or anything, and I wanted to give him that time. And so by the time we finished, actually it was around 10 something. I was thinking, should I do the live again? Then somehow I never did it. Hello everyone, welcome today. Apologies yesterday. We couldn't do the live. Yeah, we couldn't do that. Hello, take life easy. Kule, jeje kule. I'm doing great. How are you too? I'm doing fantastic. Currently in Windhoek, Namibia, and it's been great. And so all day, I'm in a I'm in a retreat, doing some work. Morning 9 to 6, all throughout. So there's really, and you come back, you're a bit tired and all of that. Yesterday actually, day before yesterday, of course, I informed everybody I wasn't going to do live because I was going to be on the road. I was on transit, but yesterday, uh, yesterday I actually started the live. And then my husband called, and well, I had to now go off live, and I spoke to him since I wasn't at home. If I was at home, of course, and I didn't just want to tell him. And if I had told him I was doing live, he will not, he will cut the call. He could say, okay, we'll talk tomorrow. But then we hadn't really spoken all day because one, I have been traveling. One, I didn't bring my universal charger. I couldn't charge my phone, so we really didn't have a moment to catch up. And then when we did, I gave my oga, the time. One of the things for me I'm really very grateful for, you understand, is the fact that I'm able to be there for my family. I see people see me, I wonder, I see people like, go and focus on your husband. I'm like, even their papa wey dey there, my husband dey get more attention than their papa wey the mama dey for house. So it's all good. So apologies for not being able to do this yesterday. We've currently been talking about business, how to do business, what are the things to do, why you should do business, why even you shouldn't do business, and and that why not business. We also talked about mindset a few days ago. That was what we really discussed, our mindset, to say that everything you are in life and everything you achieve in life and where you're going to be, it comes from your mindset. If you have a belief that you can't do it, I'm sorry, there's nothing anybody is going to help you with. You absolutely will not be able to do it. But if you have the mindset that you can do it, then of course you can. For those of us who are here, please kindly help to click on the like button. It helps for the videos, for others to be able to see it and also learn from what we're all sharing here. You can also please kindly subscribe, and also you can hit the notification button. I do release three videos every day at noon, 4 o'clock, and 8 p.m. basically talking about Nigerian issue. I have another channel that I just opened, which is Ovevekuve channel, where we'll be talking about all the gist that normally we will not talk about in this channel. Is too serious because every time governance, politics, this we have to make Nigeria better. Let's take on, there are a lot of issues that actually affecting people, and most of them, like I say, you have the Ovevekuve message. The Ovevekuve, by the way, it's an Isako term that usually just denotes when something is surprising, when something is extraordinary, whether for good, for bad, and then you just use that Ovevekuve as a term. And so today, and then on Sundays we do the book. We are doing a book review. The Richest Man in Babylon is a book that we are reviewing Sunday 9 p.m. Nigerian time or West African time. That's GMT +1, and we'll be dealing with chapter 2 next Sunday. So please kindly join us, and also if you've not read the book, go get the book. There are a lot of copies, out there. Get that book and let's keep reading, and let's read it out, but not just to read it to say, oh, we have this knowledge of this, but really also put it to practice, because I tell you there are so many nuggets in that particular book, especially when it comes to financial literacy. Osiegbe Wilfred, good evening. Thank you so much. Ajayori Abiodun, sending hugs to you too. Peace, Dambauchi, good evening. Take life easy. Good evening too. Jeje Kule. Like I mean, that particular phrase there, take life easy, as simple as it sounds, a lot of people don't know how to take life easy. Many people tend to be in competition with other people, and then they forget that, oh, they're living their own life. Like I always say to my children, you're not in competition with anybody. Just live your possible best, and just ensure that you respect people, and also demand ensure you are also respected, value everyone, and be humane, have empathy, contribute to what's happening in the society. Today we are going to talk about so we're also going to move away from business a bit. We'll still come back to our business series that we have been doing, but I stumbled upon something that I had written. This is maybe like 10-15 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Probably no, let me see. Yeah, or is it? Mm-hmm. Let's say maybe this is 2024, right? So I know definitely it's over a decade. How much over a decade is what I really don't know, and I can't remember. So but I know it's definitely over a decade. So it was at a time when I had a brother who had finished school, who couldn't find a job, and then he got this job, and that was his first job, of course. And then I had a cousin who used to work before, and they had been unemployed for 8 years, and then he also, got job. And so I wrote this to them, and this is also to anyone, whether you're newly employed, if you've just gotten a job, or you have been employed for a while, or you're trying to get a job. These are also some of the things that you can keep in your head and also remember. Comfort at 1 year. Good evening to you, and welcome. And I hope one or two things will resonate. So the first thing that I said to my brother and my cousin was that, look, you see the employment letter you got, and you were very excited about it. Just know that it is also that kind of a letter that can terminate your job. You get a letter that says that, look, you're no longer wanted. And even these days, it's so brutal in some this thing. They don't even send a letter. The next thing you're going to see, maybe you're coming into work, you can't log into the system. They just take you out. You can't log into the system. You can't log into the official email. And that's why a lot of people have been advised. And I saw one advice recently of someone who was a lecturer in a particular university, and they had sacked him. And he said he didn't mind, that he had learned from other people that why anything that was not job related, anything that was private, that he used his own personal email. He didn't use the official email. And if you use the official email to reach him on anything that he was going to do personally, whether some sort of consultation or anything, that he will refer you back and with his personal email. And because of that, he was able to he still had his access, his contacts and things he were doing. But if you're using an official email and that's the only thing you use to transfer, every moment they knock you out, automatically you will not be able to, you will not be able to get hold of those emails there. You automatically been knocked out of it. I say it takes a letter for you to obtain a job or employed. I hope it equally takes a letter to be notified of your employment being terminated. So at the back of your mind, it is good for you to know that it's easy for your employer to hire and fire, right? It takes a letter. So if you have that at the back of your mind, you don't just go in there and you become relaxed and you just don't bother about things. Oh, now I have this job, whatever. Always know that your employer can wake up one day, they say they don't like you. It might be due to no fault of yours. It might be market downsizing. It might be one thing or the other. And so at the end of the day, you just know that this is it. And so you have to be prepared to do the things that you want to do. For those of us that are joining, welcome. This is Let's Do Business with Aisha, where we talk about financial literacy, how to do business, and also other growth things. We don't discuss politics here, we don't discuss governance or any of that. Those ones you can find on my normal videos that I do. And if you have any question, kindly put it in there. So as you're working now, there are a lot of things you need to put into consideration and start working on it. If you have been working for a while, haven't done anything, and think jobs don't, especially yours, then you need to look around. I'm sure the place where you work, there are a lot of people who have been who have retired, or people who have been sacked, or people who have been fired. Don't always think that you're better than them or you can't be in that position. Always put yourself that, what if I'm in this position? How am I going to cope? And begin to work on those things. You see people who are like at high flying jobs, they're earning so much, right? The moment they lose their jobs, a few months later, you see them, they're almost like destitute. You know, they are like destitute, they are all over the place. They are looking for who will give them money for their rent, for their children's school fees, and all of that. These are people that were earning so much. And if you're part of when we had our discussion on financial independence, you remember when we said that income is not wealth. Though a lot of people misunderstand income to be wealth. They just think if you are earning 1 million naira a month, 2 million naira, that means you are rich. No, that means you're just getting that. It depends on how much you're saving. It depends on how much you're spending. It depends on how much you're putting towards investment. It depends on how much your investments are bringing you passive income. And we talked about the fact that wealth is not how much money you have. You might have 100 million in your account. It necessarily doesn't mean that you're wealthy or you're financially independent. It just states how long you can stay without having to work. So how long will the money last if you're at your present lifestyle and expenses? So you're either 1 day wealthy, 2 days wealthy, 1 week wealthy, 1 month wealthy, 1 year wealthy, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the things that you need to understand. Always look around and learn. They say that experience is the best teacher, but nobody said that you have to experience it to learn from it. So you don't have to go through it. You look at people around you and constantly keep learning from them. For me, that's one of the things that have worked for me. Whether it's marriages, I look at people's marriages, I see what's going on in their marriages, I see some of them, the kind of problems, the kind of things, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to ensure this doesn't happen in my marriage. I'm going to ensure that, I walk around this, all of those things. And even before I got married, even as a young lady, those are the things I looked at, and I was like, no, you see this thing that are happening, I'm not ready to get into it. I'm not ready to be part of it. I can't be part of all of these abusive marriages, especially in situations where people have just assumed that, oh, it's normal to have an unhappy marriage or abusive marriage, or marriage has to be endured. And I know a lot of people who told me, oh, Aisha, you're just talking, you're not going to find, this is not possible, you're not going to find a man like this, blah 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 blah. But hey, I found the one that values and respects me and take care of me and want me to be happy. And for me, it's about learning from other people's experiences. You see what is good, as okay, how do I replicate that? How can I make something like that work for me? You see what is bad, you say, how do I prevent this? How do I mitigate it? So the same thing with your job also. Look around you. There are a lot of people who had worked big time jobs and then they retire and then they become destitute. They are either depending on their children to take care of them or depending on other people. Sometimes you actually see people who have worked for so long, they have retired, they still have little children in primary school, in secondary school. They're struggling to pay school fees and all of. They're like, why are you putting yourself in this kind of situation? Why did you allow yourself to be here? You see somebody is 60, you're 70, at 60 years old, you're going to get married. What are you getting married for? What are you having these children for? How are you going to look after them? All of that stuff. So the retirees of today started their jobs one day, and before they knew what was happening, they had put in 35 years of service and were due for retirement. Some welcomed retirement because they had worked towards it and were prepared, while others dreaded, retirement because they had not done anything towards their retirement. I know of a lot of people who they keep saying, oh, we are retiring in 10 years, in 15 years, in 5 years, in 3 years. up until when retirement will come and meet them, they really haven't done anything. Now some of them keep saying, oh, we're going to start this business, or we're going to do that. If you want to do a business, don't wait until you are retired before you go and do that business. You understand? Start a business while you're still working, and be just doing that as high side hustle, so you learn all the mistakes. So even if you lose some money, you can mitigate it. Not the one that you just pour all your retirement gratuity and everything into the business, and then the business, went down. One of the things you need to know as an employee is that it is not your employer's duty to make you rich. No, your employer is not in the business of making you rich. It's just to pay you your salary. It is now you, what you use that salary to do in your, in your free time, that determines whether you get rich or not. And some people will say that, oh, it's God that determines whether. Yes, it's God that determines, but guess what? God is a just God. You cannot sit down and not put in the work and expect that God is going to wake up and just give you that money. No, it's based on what you do. If you're working towards getting that money, earning that financial literacy, understanding it, hey, you're going to get it. But if you don't work towards it, there's nothing that is going to come out. So it is what you do in your extra time. May God give us the wisdom to use our resources and time wisely. This is where a lot of planning, savings, investment, working hard, and working smart come into place. You see some people, they are earning the same salary, the same work, the same everything, but one is doing so well, the other isn't. And sometimes they begin to gossip about that person. Oh, he must be doing something, he must be stealing money, he must be doing rituals, he must be. No, he just using his money more. And most times people just waste of their money. If, for example, let me give you just example. If you use 1,000 naira every day, right? 1,000 naira every day, you might look at it that, oh, it's really not a lot of money. Maybe you just buy one thing or the other that you just eat mindlessly and you go. But in a year, that's 365,000 naira. If you look at 365,000 naira, that's a lot of money. I think I saw, especially for those of you who are abroad. I recently, I think a few days ago, I read an article. uh Young Akman, start with the richest man in Babylon. It's very basic, very encompassing. It's very encompassing and all of that. And currently we are also reviewing it. So every Sunday at 9 p.m. Nigerian time, West African time, that's GMT plus one, we review the richest man in Babylon, and we started last Sunday. So this Sunday we're going to be on chapter 2. So get it, and we'll continue with the review together. And so that book is quite important. After that, you can also look at Rich Dad Poor Dad. These are some of the books that are. But that richest man in Babylon, it explains everything, and it's very encompassing, and it really takes you on how you, wherever you are in, how you can save money and be able to get something done. And so even for some people, like that 1,000 naira that you spend mindlessly without even thinking about it, just imagine you're saving it. You're saving it all the time. What you're going to do, what you're going to have, you're going to have 365 thousand naira. So imagine if it is 2,000 you're saving, so you're talking about over 700,000 naira. If you're able to save 3,000 every day, just look for. I've seen some people who do this big kolo. I think that's what they call it, but this piggy bank, and they just keep putting this money into. At the end of 1 year, 2 years, they open it up, and it's a lot. That's how saving is. And if you can save this amount of money, and then you invest it towards something, either an income yielding investment, or investment that will appreciate over time. Many people are focused on hammer. I want to hammer. Me, I always tell people, I don't know what hammering is. In short, I'm the kind of person that, you see all these things that they do. Maybe all those things, they will scratch card, or they are doing coupon something, or I know they get love for that kind of thing. And even when, like, oh, some businesses say, this businesses, they are making money, let me just enter, let me just quick make. Most times for me, it's loss I normally make. I don't even bother about those things. But it's my small business that I'm doing. I'm getting my little profit. Then delayed gratification. I do a lot of delayed gratification. I'm not going to buy things now because people are buying it. I've never been moved about what people think, what people don't say, or how they say. I don't care. There are the one expensive thing that I know personally, myself and my husband, and I'm sure I pushed my husband into that, is our children's education. We really spent a fortune on our kids, on our children, to get the best of education, both here in Nigeria and out of the country. And so for me, I think I would say that's the one thing that I know. We dey spend money, but any other thing, not at all. I'm not interested. In short, like right now in Abuja, I drive my small Toyota. Was it 2 3 years ago? I bought a small Toyota because the Jeep was gulping so much fuel. If I'm to even use the Jeep now, I don't even know how much. As far back as like 2016, 17, or even earlier, I was spending like 17,000 every week. So I can imagine how much it is now if I'm gonna be spending. What's my own? I just carry my car. If I come to an event, you say you don't want me to enter your event because my car is small, I walk away. And of course, in Nigeria, sometimes the way you're treated when they see you in a smaller car is different from when they see you in a Prado. What's my own? That's your own business. When I come out, you no go disrespect me. If you disrespect me, I will find my way and go. So for me, I've never been moved by material things, or what will people say, or trying to impress anyone. I don't need to impress anyone. I'm okay. If you like, you think say I no get money, that's good for you. If you like, you think I get money, that's your business. It no even concern my life. So for me, I always say to people, even that little money that passes through your hand, I tell you, you can do so much, so much with it. And so that's how wealth is built. By the time you're saving if you're saving 1,000 naira every day, in a month you're getting this. By 5 months, 5 years, you get how many? In a year, you're getting so much. So these are how you put this monies together. So I said to them, my brother, my cousin, I say, work on delayed gratification. Whatever you have, no matter how much you are paid, you should have a way of saving and investing. If you are not saving and you are not investing, definitely there will be a problem sooner or later. And sometimes the big question people ask, oh, but the money we are paid is not enough. Nothing is ever enough. Even if they pay you 10 million naira every month, it will still not be enough. Why? Because as they increase your salary, you are increasing your taste, you are increasing your expenses, you are increasing your everything. Before, you maybe when your salary was very small, you go to bend down boutique, you go and get your very good shoes, very good clothing, very good everything. I mean, you're rocking it. They increase your salary small, Ghana boutique you go dey enter. You now be entering boutique. So you see, even though they increase your salary, you still don't have enough because you've increased your taste, and that's how it is. By the time they increase your salary again, omo, you'll be going to abroad to go and shop, because now you have to go to those places and go and pick the Tom Fords of this world and the whatever it is that they call them. So that's how it is. So you always continuously increase your test the more money you're getting. So what normally happens is that whatever it is you are earning, no matter how small it is, and Ahmed Young, like the richest man in Babylon, will tell you that pay at least 10% of your income to yourself. Whatever you earn, if your salary, your gift, whatever, as soon as you are getting that money, take your own out first. At least 10%. That's the least. You can do 20 depending on how much your expenses are and how much you're earning. There are people that always say to them they can do 90% savings of their salary, especially when you're in your teenage years. There are a lot of teenagers, in your early 20s, you just finished school. There are a lot of people who are earning real good amount of money. Some of them young people, they really don't have a lot of expenses right now. They're not married, they don't have children, and they're earning good salary. I mean, 2 million, 3 million per. In Nigeria, you'll be shocked. 3 million per month, 5 million per month, and all of that. because of the kind of jobs they do, the kind of skills that they have, and stuff like that. Those kind of people are certain, and some of them can even save up to 10%, 90% of their income. There are people who are doing remote jobs. They're in Nigeria, they're earning so much in dollars, they can save a lot. So what you do with this kind of thing, they save as much as you can, and then when you save, the next thing that you go and do, of course, is to invest. Francis Ugochukwu, welcome. For those of you that have been, regular here, apologies yesterday. I was supposed to do Let's Do Business yesterday. Day before yesterday, I had informed the house that I'll be on transit. So I was traveling from Aberdeen to Namibia, and it was really very hectic travels. At that 9 p.m. was when I was boarding my plane from Heathrow to Johannesburg, and then from Joburg I came to Windhoek in Namibia. So I told you, but um, at yesterday actually I started the live, and then my husband called, and he was wanted to talk, so I just paused the live, and that was it, since I've not been at home. And that particular day, my battery, all my phones were dead until when I charged them at night, because I didn't come with my universal charger. And then I just took time out and just had time, just spoke with my husband, because I hadn't been home and we hadn't spoken all day. One of the things that I would say to every one of us is that let's prioritize our family. Our families should come first. For me personally, my family, and I'm so grateful. I don't take it for granted. The opportunity and the capacity I've had to be there for my family. I mean, people see me doing a lot of things outside. They're like, oh, go and focus on your family. Nobody gets my time more than my family, and so they know at any time I'll drop anything just to be with them and take care of whatever needs they have, and that's the same thing they also do for me. And it's very important for us to always prioritize, especially with your spouses. Make your spouses know that they are the most valuable thing in your life. Make them know that you can drop everything. Even sometimes it's not easy, sometimes you're busy or certain thing, and the person, when you notice that your spouse, and I'm deliberate in using the word spouse, I'm not saying your husband or your wife, because it's for either way, because that's the way you take care of each other, the way you validate each other. Always be there for each other, always make the other one feel so loved, so very important, invaluable, and just that you're my number one priority. Nothing else matters. You understand? If you do that, it's always a good thing. And even when you're talking about financial independence, it's always the best thing for you to be able to achieve financial independence. When you're working together as a couple, it's a whole lot easier than when you're doing it as one. Sometimes, one of the things people don't talk about a lot is financial infidelity. We talk person's husband cheating, wife is cheating. We don't talk about when they are cheating financially, when you are hiding finances from each other. There are a lot of people, in they've married for years, but husband doesn't know what wife is earning, wife doesn't know what husband is. And I'm like, how are you hiding these things from each other? You're supposed to be the closest people there are on earth, and then to each other, because the relationship between a husband and a wife is, for me, it's even closer than that of parents. And maybe that's because that's the way my own is. I always tell my kids, hey, I knew this man first. This is my baby, and I'm also his baby, and all of that. And so, but you see some people hiding things from each other, wife hiding things from husband hiding things, financial things from wife, spending money on things and not letting the other one know. These are always things, that should be worked upon. Okay, so we've talked about delayed gratification, which is very important. When you earn money, don't just go and start spending it, because when you do that, what you're doing is that you're the one working for your money. Some people even work for the money they've not earned by buying credit, buying not assets. So they buy liabilities, they are buying shoes, they are buying clothing, they are changing phone. Oh, you bought phone last year or 2 years ago, because now there's another new iPhone, whatever number. You now go and change. Your old phone is good, your old phone doesn't have a problem, you're not using it for business, you just change it, so that when you carry it on your ear, people will see that you're using iPhone. Who cares? But your pocket is bleeding, your pocket is crying. You're trying to impress people who you don't even like, or who don't even like you. Of what use is that impression all about? So we've talked about paying yourself first, whatever it is that you earn, ensure that you're paying yourself. Some that get a job, you find out that after a little while they are back to complaining and having no money, and you're wondering what's happening. That's because of what, like I've explained earlier, the higher your money goes, the more your expenses. It's a natural human being. There's actually a term for it. I've forgotten what that term is right now, but it's actually a term, some syndrome or whatever they call it. The more you're earning, the more you're spending. So there's something that my husband always says when it comes to finances. I mean, we work closely together, myself and my husband, in the family and stuff like that. My husband would always say, as soon as you know your salary that it's already spent. So if you, for example, your salary is 20,000, you will be spending that 20,000. So they now call you and say, they've increased your salary to 40,000. Even before the 40,000 enters your hand, you don't already spend it. You start spending it. Oh, I have 40,000. Before I wake up again, that 40,000 has already gone. So you have to know how to make mistakes and learn in your job, just the same way you do also in your business. You have to fail again and again and again and keep standing up again and again and again. Failure, they say, is falling. It's not falling. That failure is staying. That one of the things I think that we were not conditioned well for it. I think it's the way we treat failure, the way maybe somebody has failed, someone is beaten, someone is, they harass you, they talk to you, all sort of things. And for me, one of the things I've been deliberate about is the way I teach my children to use failure as a learning opportunity, not something to be feared, not something to be ashamed of, not something to run away for, but something to embrace and say, okay, fine, I failed at this. Okay, so how do I learn? And one of the things I constantly always say to my kids is that, look, even if you fail, even if you fail now, you're in school, you fail, no problem. I say life is all about failing and learning how to manage that failure and going on. And so if you learn how to manage this failure at this young age, then you'll be better for it. Especially if I use the example of my son who is dyslexic. Dyslexia is a learning disability, and he has had to struggle all his years to get basic things that people take for granted, basic things that people, it's, they just feel, okay, fine. I remember the day my son got was it a D in maths? I don't think it wasn't even a C, it was a D in maths. My son got a D, and I went to pick him up from school. Literally, we were singing at the top of our voices all the way from school to our house. He got a D in maths. So, one of the things I've always said to my son, I said, look, it's people like you that are better prepared for life. And that's why you see a lot of people who are dyslexic, they achieve a lot of amazing things. The Thomas Edisons of this world, Richard Branson, a lot of them, Albert Einstein, these are people who are dyslexic, who are people who have achieved so much. They say because you got used to failing at an early age, and then when life came on, you're ready for it. So a lot of people who are gifted academically, you find out that they don't do so well in life, most of them, because it's after they finish school that they begin to encounter their first set of failure. And so they're stumped because they don't know how to deal with it. They're used to school. They've always passed in school, I mean, effortlessly and stuff like that. So for me, I've always tried to tell my children, embrace failure, use it, don't run away from it, and just learn from it. And there's one book I've spoken about it, John C. Maxwell, Failing Forward. It's such a powerful book in how teaching you how you can really embrace failure instead of running, and learning from failure and being better. Tawaye Abdul, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Prime leverage. Absolutely. Arise, O compatriots. That's what we know. That's how we know. And maybe I should even be starting to sing that national anthem anytime we are starting. And so that's it. Every successful business you see is built on series of failures, and if you are working and you start small, you can afford those failures, learn from them and keep going. So if you want to do business, if you ever think about doing business, start it while you're still working. Start it small, learn from your mistakes, and then you'll be able to anything that happens, you'll be able to manage it. But of course, don't let it affect your work. Don't let it affect the time that you're giving your employer, because there's a burden on you, or should I call it a burden, a responsibility. There's a right that your employer has over the time that he has paid for. So you don't be in the office, you're conducting your own business and not your employer's business. So business doesn't mean just buying and selling or having a shop. There are a lot of businesses out there. Real estate is one I love so much, which is flexible, and you can do it while you're working. Although a lot of people don't think about real estate in terms of business. Obedient child, good evening to you. IDK, greetings from the UK. Oh, well done. So I'm here. Greetings from Namibia, Windhoek, to be precise. And so there are a lot of businesses out there that you can do. You can be doing buy land. You can buy land and resell. You can buy land and keep for a long time. You can buy land and you get to a place where eventually you're building houses and then you're putting out rental properties and stuff like that, or you're building house. You can buy house, build land and sell it. So you see that it didn't take away your time, or you don't have to have shop. People build houses, people sell. So there are a lot of things that you can actually go out there and you can be accumulating land with your salary. You can move on to building houses for rent. One of the things, and I share this a lot in the things that we do, for example, my husband worked in NHIS. My husband is a chartered accountant. He became a chartered accountant in 1986, so that's about 38 years now. In 2 years' time, it will be 40 years that my husband became a chartered accountant, and he has always worked in accounting firms. He didn't want to work in banks and all of that. KPMG, Akintola Williams, and so while he was he was a manager at Akintola Williams when a job opened up in NHIS. That's the National Health Insurance Scheme, though they've changed the name now to, I think, Insurance Fund or something like that. And so he applied, he got the job, and so he became a public servant for 8 years. And why was it 8 years? Because at that time, and a very fantastic rule, I love that rule, which was, I think it was Jonathan that put it before he left, which was that if you are a director, then you only do 8 years in director. Because there are some people who just for somehow get their ways to be director, and they are sitting there for 20 years, 30 years as directors, and they are not allowing people will be retiring under them. They can't rise because there's one young person who is a director. So when they put that cap, which was great, I love that cap, which is if you are a director, you only do 8 years, you have to leave. So of course my husband started the work as a director, and of course after his 8 years, he left. I can tell you, for someone who had worked in the private sector and everything, that public sector was a crazy place. For my husband, I had to even keep begging him, just finish the 8 years, because he felt he wanted to resign. All the shenanigans that go on in the government space, and that's why for me, I always say, let's talk about, when some people are coming, oh, your husband stole money in NHS. Like, my husband stole money in NHS. When my husband got that job, I wrote him a letter and I said to him, as you're going, whatever they do there, they call it government work, because some people think government work is to be done, and I say, give your all. You're not the only one bearing your name. I'm bearing that name. Yesufu and our children are bearing that name. And today, thank God, if my husband had done anything, you think I have the mouth that I have today, I wouldn't be able to have that mouth, this mouth that I have today. And when people are like, oh, your husband was a public, he stole money, I'm like, please, EFCC, bring them on, because I want people to actually even come and check my husband. I want my husband's story to be told, because there are a lot of people who are putting in and protecting our money, is doing everything in the civil service, public service. They're not rewarded. They are not appreciated. People don't know their story. So people just say, oh, government workers are corrupt. That's it. Those ones who are diligent, those ones who are refusing to be part of it, people, I don't see that. So for me, why did I start? Why did I talk about my husband? Is the fact that at NHIS, there's this thing they call it upfront. So I'm sure there are other government parastatals that do it also. They call it upfront. So they pay a chunk of your salary, they give it to you, and then every month it's small money that you now be collecting to go on. So that upfront, you can use it to do things. And for us, my husband, what my husband did with all his upfront was that he bought lands in Abuja with them. Every upfront, as soon as he come, we always buy land. As soon as he came, you see, when my husband, in the 8 years that my husband was there, he didn't buy a car. He didn't change a new car. He had an official car, a Jeep, and later they give him a Prado that was the official car. And this is the thing about one thing I love about my husband. I respect him a lot on that is that my husband has one this thing, philosophy. He said, live the kind of life that even if you are not working, you can still maintain it. That's my husband for you. Live the kind of life that even if you are not working, you can still maintain it. We had Jeep, we had his official car, big, of course, a director in such a parastatal. But that official car never slept in our house. The driver will bring my husband, they will drop him, he will carry the car to the office. In the morning, he will go to the office, pick it, come and carry my husband. Weekends, my husband will use his tankere, his car, the other car. I mean, his juniors were riding big cars, you know. I can tell you, humongous car. My husband left, I think that was 2013. And was it by early 2014 that's when he retired. And they were riding real, I say he's junior. So this is the thing. Even if you're getting the same salary or less, somebody else is saving his own, somebody else is buying assets, and then you have others who are just buying liabilities, because a car is a liability really. If you have a car, basic car, why do you need to change your car every year? Why do you need to buy these bigger cars? If you are to bring those cars and those lands together that has been bought, this is like over 10 years ago, put them side by side. What am I talking? I'm talking about over like 18 years ago. Put them side by side, you see the one that has more value now. So for us, that's the thing. And my mom was, oh, when he was no longer there, how many times did you see him in his Jeep? It was from house to office and back. Every other business of his own that he needed to do, he used his own car. And then it was when he had retired. As soon as he was retired, he now bought, one pilot, this is a Highlander or whatever they call it. So those are the things that you do with wealth, and then you build wealth over time. So necessarily you don't have to hammer, you don't necessarily have to, just that money you are getting, save it. And so these were some of the advice I give to my brother and my cousin. I say to them, look, that salary you're getting, save it, put it towards some saving, use it, don't just spend it anyhow. Oh, now you are earning money, then you begin to work toward this thing, and then spend it just the way you like. And one other thing for me, I always say to people, work on your passive income. If you are a parent and it's only from your active income that you're paying your children's school fees, that's quite dangerous. What happens to you? What happens to your children if you lose that job? What happens to your children if that business is not doing very well, it collapses? So you need to work on passive income so that you'll be earning money from passive income, so that even if you are working, if something affects your business, something affects your job, your passive income is still going on. I can tell you, for me, I mean, my business has really gone down in terms of, sales and everything. We that one customer alone will come and buy a trailer load of feed. You understand me? But sometimes now you can stay like, there was some weeks, 1 month ago, you literally will stay 3 days, nothing. And I sell food item. So I'm not selling luxurious something. I mean, I sell Indomie, I sell Nestle water, I sell rice, I sell chicken feed, I sell oil, ground oil, I sell, those kind of things. Because people couldn't afford them. Indomie became a luxurious food. No people could, buy them again. Something that was 3,000 went as far as 18,000. Things prices were just increasing, and so more and more people were falling off being able to buy this thing. So if my life was from the profit, then my life will really take a drastic, but because I have passive income and my expenses are paid from my passive income and not my active income, I really didn't feel the shake of it. So all I just say, my staff were worried. I like, you guys, no matter what, just as long as you are paying your salary, even when they don't pay their salary, we put money there, just stay there, just close. That's how business, it happens from time to time. Sometimes it goes down. Business, they're always like this, what do they call it, there's a name they call it, I can't remember, the troll, the peak, the whatever. It's always like that. So it's people that don't understand business. The first time their business goes down, then they takes a dip, you see them panic, you see them running away from the business. Every business is like that. So what we do is that we coast. You just reduce a lot of the expenses and just be coasting, and that is it. Pablo says yes, business cycles, yeah, but there's a name they call it. I think there are 4 stages. Is it the trough, the peak, the deep? I actually read it in my business course that we did last semester. God knows I can't even remember now again. That's why it's not good to cram. Yeah. Anyway, what are passive income ideas for someone earning a little? So for someone earning a little, the first thing that you do, save. And so when you're able to get something, you can have something like shares. I mean, because with a little you can buy shares. You can buy shares for dividend. Look for good companies that have good principles. You see their product, not just, oh, I'm buying this share because this share is expensive, I can sell. Don't do gambling. Just look for good solid companies and just be buying their shares little by little. So with very little money, that's something that you can actually be picking and buying. And then as you go on, there's capital gain, and then there's also dividends. So that's some of the things. Then other things like passive income. Before, one of the things that used to work, people could invest as sleep dormant partners in people's business. You give someone money, they'll be doing their business, giving profit. But unfortunately, that thing has been bastardized. There's not much trust, not much trust anymore. And so that's on the case of business. But I think things like buying shares, and then it depends on how small it is. So first of all, the thing that I say is save. And you can do something like, even if it's buying land, but some lands are quite expensive, but there are also land that are cheap. Maybe it's far away. You might think a place is far away. 10 years is like tomorrow if there's life. When were we saying 2014? See, now it's already 2024. And before you know what's happening, is that 2034. So some places that you think they are far away are always going, oh, they are selling land here 200,000. Like, who will reach there? Don't worry. As you wait there, within the next 10 years, you will see people have reached there. So these are also some of the things that you could walk into. Rental properties for me is the one that I do the most. I did shares, but I didn't do shares for passive income. I was doing shares for capital gain. Let it appreciate, then I'll sell it. And honestly, I ended up losing a lot of money around 2006, 2007. So how to be responsible with 10,000 naira in Africa. 10,000 naira in Africa is not small. It's not small money. It's actually if it's Nigeria, that's like how much? That's about 15 million naira. And so for me, one of the things about doing business is that don't be so focused on the money you are bringing in, because one of the problems that a lot of businesses have is that there's too much money in a business. When you're starting, first of all, start with the ideas. First of all, start with the problem you want to solve. What are the needs? Don't just bring money and say, I have 10,000 naira or I have 100,000 naira, I want to start business. No, start it. What is there? So there are four ways you look at it. One, what need can I fulfill? What is the problem that is somewhere that I can fulfill that problem? And in fulfilling that problem, I can also earn money. So that's one. What business idea have you seen somewhere that you want to bring to Africa or anywhere? That's another. What hobby do you have that you can make profit from it? That's another way of doing business. And then what business is there that you can improve on it? That's improving on an existing business. So these are the ways to think. Don't If you come from the mindset, oh, I have $10,000, I want to go and invest it, I'm sorry, in less than 95 to 99% in the next 5 years, you will lose everything, because that's the mindset you're coming from. So you have to start it from that. Learn what it is you want to do, then learn it, start it small. The place where you need that money to be bringing it is when you want to scale up your business. So you've done the business, you've learned the business, then you now the business is going on, and then why you want to make it bigger. That's when you bring this, you're looking for this money to bring it, and then you'll be able to sustain it. Abdul Momin Khan, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I'm doing great, and I hope you also are doing great. Pineapple Godfather, yeah, it's that way, but there's actually we did one business course last semester. There was actually a name that was given to it. Amongst them, there's True. I know Trough because I can remember that. But I just can't forget. But it's still the same basic things. Businesses go up, they come down, they plateau, and then they go up. All of those things. And sometimes people who don't understand business, who don't know business, the moment they enter and they come across when business is coming down, they panic, they either run away or they go away. But you see some people, they stay there all through. After a while, you see that business will peak again. So Pineapple Godfather said, Mabe, how do we save our money effectively? First of all, you pay yourself first. So you say this amount of money, I'm taking it, and when you take it, I go and look for one of the things I said to people: go and get an account, open an account which is dedicated for you saving this money. You don't have ATM in that account, you don't have online banking on it, you don't have nothing. So even if you want to do anything, you have to go to the bank. So that's one way that will help you, to also save. There are all this, is it piggy vest? I've never used them, but I see people who it has helped. So it just takes, it those ones, they automatically take away from your account so amount of money. You can also have something with your bank that says, oh, every month they should take so certain amount of your money and put it in another account. You can have that agreement. You can put it there. I remember with my kids, I used to do that every month. They took, was it when they were young, was it 10,000 or 20,000? I can't remember. And every month they just paid it into their different accounts. So that also is something that can help you. So you're not seeing that money, you're not spending that money. You have to be disciplined on it. Another thing also is to have what is it that you want to use that money on. For example, if you're working towards buying a land, go and meet an agent trustworthy agent. Everybody needs a trustworthy agent in their life. That's one way that you can easily build your wealth in terms of landed properties, because sometimes you have people who want to do distress sales, people who want to sell off their land, they want to do something. Sometimes you have some lands come onto the market cheap, and so you can buy them and stuff like that. So when you have something with agreement with them, you have someone who is, you have to be careful though. There are a lot of fraudulent agents. Real estate business is one that is rife with fraud. So check. I'll tell people, check and be sure that when you're buying property, your body is good papers, genuine papers. You go to your state and check. I do Kaduna, Abuja. We have places we go to where you can check whether the land is genuine or not, and also check what is the land use. People forget that. People don't check that. What is the use? Is it so that you're not going to buy land that is supposed to be playground, and then tomorrow when they are recovering the land house that you've built, they go and break it, you start crying. So you need to check all of these things and be sure the use is what you are buying for it to be useful. So what that will do is that it forces you to save, because you now have something you're working towards, something you're buying. So that's another, because a lot of people don't know how to save. I'm sorry, maybe I might be doing this like profiling. I think women are better at saving than men. Men have this grand. That's why anytime I see men who don't work with their wives, I just pity them. Most of them, you just end up, because men are used to big things. Oh, if I'm going to build house, it's this big house, so I need also so much. They want to gather all the money for building the house before they start building. But a woman can just start with little by little by little. So also saving, so that helps. Women are good at saving and just keeping that one kobo and making it work. So if you're working very well with your spouse, those are things you can also do. So one is helping to save and whatever. For example, like my husband, if you talk with my husband today, he will tell you that he trusts me more with his money than himself. Because if he comes to me, I will say, oh, this is what we need to use it for. We are not going to spend it anyhow on anything. For me, I'm a good manager of money. We need to do this, and let's keep doing it. I remember when, just to digress a little bit, I remember when we were building our second house in Kaduna, which was the first house was built in the village. I didn't want to build it. I didn't want us to build a house in the village. I like, how many times do you go to village? It's not financially sound, but emotionally, of course, my husband, oh no, you need to have a house in the village, those emotional. Me, I don't have emotional when it comes to business. The house I'm living in now, wallahi, if you give me good price, I'll just tell you, please give me 6 hours or 4 hours, I'll pack everything out of the house, I'll sell the house to you, I'm going for another house buy. You understand? That's the kind of person I am. But my husband is more emotional attached to things, and stuff like that. So when we're building that house, we didn't have that much money, and we were just saying, oh, I think we started our house like, I can't remember now. I can't remember when we started our house. We're like, let's say we're like, oh, in the next let's say, but it was like in the next 6 months or 7 months we'll buy land. Guess what? By that next 6 months we're already roofing. So we started early in the when we used to. I can't remember the first truck of sand we bought. Let's say, I'm just using example, just some figures, because right now, uh Sansi, thank you so much. Well done. So let me just say, we were buying the first truck of sand we bought was 1,000 naira, and then I now found where I could go and we could buy it for 600 naira, and that's what we started doing. So, like, for those of, if you're familiar with Kaduna, there's a place you go down to as if you're on your way to Zaria, where they used to sell mangoes and everything. So that's where they come out of. So the people, that's where they go and get the sand. They come out of that place, then they'll bring it to the garage. By the time it gets to the garage, sand almost double. So I used to drive, I'll go and meet them on the highway, bring the buy, and then negotiate with them, they will bring. So, saving a lot of cost. Those kind of things, they might be small things, but at the end of the day, it's my husband, you can't even be bothered. Say to him to go and start looking, say, but me, that's how we pitch, we saved a lot. And like in my house, we used to cook, we cook in bulk, right from when I got my, in short, I met my husband cooking in bulk. It was from my husband I learned how you cook in bulk, because every weekend he cook his stew, ogbono, egusi, and groundnut soup, put them in the freezer, and everything. So for that week, that's what he's into. When I came, in my own case, instead of the way he used to put it in big bowls, I just portion them the way, if you carry one plastic, that's what we are eating. So it's not as if you carry out the whole plastic, you thaw it and bring it back. And so when we're doing this building, it got to a stage that we couldn't even be cooking those food. We were just eating, managing every day and stuff like that, because we had a project. Everything had to tighten. I'm not going to come and say I'm looking for new cloth to buy or new shoes. No, we have a project. And so that's why I say, if you're working together, it's a whole lot easier. And sometimes, it's always good to get someone that you're on the same financial wavelength, not the one you are trying to build house, the other one is trying to go to Dubai. You understand? So so for us, so that's some of the things that helped us. And so we're putting this thing together, and we're roofing, and up to today, that's how we combine our strength in whatever projects we are doing, and ensure that we're getting there. So savings can help. Just keep doing it little by little. Look for whose strength it is to save. So if you're married, for example, and your wife can save, keep it with her. I'm not saying all women. There are some women you give them, they will eat it, just like there are some men you give them, they will eat the money or whatever. But so whoever it is that has that strength, you can all work, in doing that together. So that really helps. Okay, I have a question here. It says, I'm living in the United States for 10 years. Things are not okay with me, but I have over, is that 15,000? And I don't know which bit. The first thing is that you shouldn't be investing in any business. With the way you've written this here, I will not advise you to do any business, because first of all, you have not seen an idea you want to do. You just feel, I have this money, I need to do this. What I would say, I'm not very knowledgeable in them, but I think there is this thing that you people investing in the US. what did they call it though? Please, people help me here. What do they call this thing? Then they will be paying you something every whatever that they invest it, and then is it K for something? There's something K for something or something of that nature. For me, I would say that's something that you should be working towards more. I wouldn't advise you to do business, because if you put in, you end up losing all that money in the business. I'm not trying to be a prophet of doom. I'm just giving you the basic reality. I've been doing business for 24 years of my own business, and with my parents for like 40 years. Before I was 10, I was managing a shop. I would go and open every Saturday, at least the first from morning to around 12, 1. That's when my parents will come and join me. So I've been doing business for a very long time. And most times when people start from the issue of idea of money, they always end up losing them, because business, you have to learn it. Whatever work you're doing right now, you didn't just wake up one day and you became where you are at it. So how do you think you just start business and you just be there at it just because you have the money? Business, you have to learn the trade, you have to learn the nitty-gritty, you have to make your mistakes, you have to fail, you have to learn again, stand up and keep going. And so if you're just bringing the money, oh, I have this $15,000, somebody, there's no business, and I tell people every business is a potential billionaire maker, and every business you can wreck somebody. So it all depends on the knowledge you're coming with from and the things that you're doing. So I would, on a serious note, I would say probably invest in those things, those, I can't remember what they call it, if you guys know, but most people abroad, they have all of these investments, something, whether the government or, and then they give you a certain percentage that they pay you as profit or something. So I think for me, I would say look into that. I have 41, yeah, there's yeah, is it yeah, I think there's one, something they call 41K or 401K or something like that. There's something that has a K, whether it's the people working that always invest in that. So it's then when you retire, you're able to get something you can rely on. I would think that is. The other thing I would have said would have been to maybe buy rental property. But in your own case, with all of those, your mortgages, 15,000, of course, is small. You have to be doing mortgages, except if you can have a place where you can do a down payment in a house that you cannot get people rent, rental that you can rent out, and the rent you're paying will be enough to pay your mortgage, will be enough to pay your all those homeowners association bills or whatever it is you guys pay, and all of that. That will also be something. Yeah, so in the US, so yeah, I think so. Like I said, is that for something K, K. Yeah, so that's also something that you can do. And so while you're here, and then as you go on, also, if you're able to get more of that money, then you keep putting down payments and getting more rental properties that you can put up. But please, 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 if you say you're coming to Nigeria, I know there was somebody the other day here that said to me, "Oh, I should stop spoiling Nigeria. They do business in Nigeria." If you bring your money to Nigeria, bring it here, or just say start business. I'm sorry, oh, well, that money go, it go finish. That's how it is. Business is not. I would say people, the reason why the Igbo man or woman is doing great in business is not because they have special business acumen, it's because they learn business. The way others go to school is a degree. That 7 years they put into that apprenticeship, that is learning. That is you getting your BSc, your masters, and probably a little bit of PhD. So you can't come, you and me, that we just say, oh, people are making profit here, you just jump into it. Now, so now your money they go take make that profit that is there. One thing that seems very important is investing in yourself and your knowledge. The more you know and the more you can. Absolutely. And that's where people always don't get. And I always say to people, sometimes they're coming to me, they think I'm going to say, oh, but no. Knowledge, get that knowledge first, get that this thing. Even when you want to start business, don't start with the money you have. That $15,000, they keep it. Go and look for business you want to do. Start it with little or nothing. Learn it. Then it is when you now have a base, you have a business, it's going well, and you want to increase the business, you want to make the business bigger. That's when you bring this your $15,000 and put it into it. And I can tell you, yes, you will have a great business. But if you are starting with that $15,000, nah, Me, I don't know how to lie. I don't know how to sugarcoat something. And I might be wrong. I'm not saying that there are no people who have started and they were successful, but on the long run, nah, it's not always like that. Hello, Ahmed. Welcome. Okay, so like I was talking, I was like, okay, I'm talking about this, my cousin and my brother who got jobs, and I was, just giving them a bit of advice of what to do and how to do it. So one other factor that I also taught them that they needed to look at was buying things that you need and not things that you want. This is very significant. For the guy who asked me earlier, how can he do savings? Don't buy things anyhow. Anytime you want to buy something, ask yourself, is it a need or is it a want? If it's a need, go ahead and buy it. Needs are things that are essential. You can't do without them. Your house rent is a need. When your car spoil, the mechanic, it's your pay is a need. If you have children in school, their school fees is a need. Hospital bills are a need. But you see things like buying that shirt, buying that shoe, buying that new phone, changing that car, those things are not needs, they are wants. So if something is a want, please do away with it. Yes, you might as well buy treasury bills to keep it safe. Absolutely. Treasury bills are also things that you can buy. So especially for me also, when I think about treasury bills, especially in places like Nigeria, I always think about inflation. So how much of inflation are you keeping up with? It's still cash. Even if they are giving you 20% now, treasury bills, by the time maybe you get that money back, how much is the inflation? How much has it eaten? But in places like, of course, like if US, the way this person, so that's a great, treasury bills are great investment also, and they are also great source of passive income. Thank you so much for mentioning that, Pablos. And so you have to think about your wants, your needs. That's also another thing. Don't just spend money anyhow. Don't just say, oh, hey, they brought something into the office. And this is for you people, office people, you people. I used to do it before. I used to sell, because when I was doing my business in the year 2000, it's offices I used to go to. They will pay 3 times and sell, you understand? You pick shoe, you pick bag, you pick shirt, you pick this, you pick that. Credit, at the end of the month, you are always paying credit. So you need to also learn not to do this and to only buy the things you need and not the things you want. Okay, actually, I'm not from Nigeria. I'm Liberian friend and told to invest in don't, please don't invest. First of all, don't do business on anything you don't know knowledge about. You can't do it. You're not there. And even, I'm sure the dynamics will be the same. You're not there. Animal business is, see, there's no business that is not profitable. Every business is profitable. Can you give it what it takes? That's the most important. Do you have the knowledge it takes? Do you know the nitty-gritty? Are you ready to give it its all? That's what business requires for. But most importantly, knowledge. And if you're investing in something without knowledge, you just bring in money, you put in there. Nah. And most times also, people, when people have too much money in the business, they are not creative. They just do anyhow. They just spend the money anyhow. What I would say to you, if you told me you had this $15,000 and you wanted to do business, I would say to you, you see that $15,000, go and first of all keep it in a fixed deposit. Let it be earning small money there. At least you know it's safe there. Then get like a so that 15,000, for example, the whole of it, go and keep it somewhere. Then save money and raise like 2,000. Yeah, maximum 3,000, because you can afford to lose 3,000. Yes. So this particular 15,000 you have, like I remember what I said, go and put it in a fixed deposit. The money is there. That means you can always get the money at any time, and you'll be getting some interest. Or if you want to do treasury bills, like somebody had advised, fine. Then you forget you have that $15,000. You understand? Forget about it. Just close your mind as if you've then now, and I want you to save for this business you want to invest. So begin to save now. So when you save like $2,000 to $3,000, use it to start the business. In the meantime, while you're saving this $2,000 to $3,000, while you're saving this $2,000 to $3,000, go and learn whatever business it is that this person is talking about that they want you to invest in, and also go and check where they want you to invest in. Is it something that we sell there, and stuff like that. Okay. Pineapple Godfather said, what's treasury bills? So treasury bills, how do I explain it? Lomo, I do this exam last month too. So you know something. So treasury bills, they are like financial tools. It's sold in the financial market. So when government wants to raise money, they want to get money. So what they use is that there are people who have money, and sometimes government wants to raise money either to foot their bill, their budget, or whatever. So they float bills. So they tell you, come and buy this thing. For example, if I these bills, just like you're buying shares in company, so it's like you're buying shares in the country, right? So these treasury bills, they are very safe. They are one of the safest form of like investment. So as if you buy Nigerian treasury bills, maybe if Nigeria is going that, at least they will pay you your money first. The rest of us are there. So it's very safe. It's a very safe financial tool to invest in. And so people will buy it, and then they are able to raise money for government. And then also, whether sometimes not, there are big companies also that get this bill. So it's a financial, what do they call it now? Oh, there's particular name, like a financial tool. No, there's another name for it, but it's sold in the capital market. Was it financial? It's sold in the capital market. So government uses it to raise money, and then you invest. Yeah, financial instrument. Thank you so much. So you now invest in it, and then they'll tell you they're going to be paying you 20. Let's say Nigeria, whether 20%, or I don't know how much they pay. I've never really done treasury bills. I've never actually done it, because for me, investing in cash, I really just feel a bit distant. So when they give you that percentage, they will pay you that percentage irrespective. So you will get that amount, and it's very safe. That's one thing with treasury bills. It's a very safe investment. So it's not the one that come and tell you, oh, the company has gone down, your money has gone down, and stuff like that. I feel like as someone new to business, is starting small with no unreasonable expectation is the way to go in order to gain experience, because failure is almost always a certainty for a starter. Absolutely, Okogo Ryan, that's the mindset, and that's the thing that a lot of people normally don't get. Start it small. I always tell people, start small, think big. The fact that you started small doesn't mean that your business will not be big, but when you start it small, you're learning it, you're knowing it, all the problems that will come, you will learn how to mitigate it, and it's easier for you. And I always say to people, always start with money you can afford to lose. That is, if this money goes down, you are not going down with it. If this money goes down, you are going down with it. Don't put it in a business. Like, so that's why for the person who said I think he said he had $15,000. What I've simply said to him, carry that $15,000, go and put it in a deposit account, or you want to do treasury bills. Those are also, find out more about it. For me, even if you say deposit, a fixed deposit, and just you are getting a certain percentage, keep it there. Then go and save for what you will use to do this business. And by the time, use between $2,000 to $3,000, because even if your $2,000 to $3,000 fail, you can afford it. Since you have 15,000, so you will die. So you can afford that, and in the meantime, you're learning the business, and going on with it. One thing that said is investing is that, yep. I'm trying to read. So if any comments I've missed. Samson Ali said, I really enjoy your business tutoring. In fact, I always share your videos with my wife back home in Nigeria. You're richly blessed, madam. Thank you so much. And I love the fact that you're sharing. Please, let's, as much as possible, let's do that. And the more you share with people, the more you teach, the more you are imbibing what you're teaching, and the more it's so, like, what I'm doing now is much as a reminder to me as it is to to what I'm sharing. So always work on sharing and doing all of that. Okay, so when they got their job also, these things that you need, and not just things that you want. So before spending a kobo, a business person will think of the effort it took to make that kobo, and also how that kobo can be put into use, and then we'll be more careful. But employees generally don't think in that way, because for them every month bam salary will come, so you just do your work, every month bam salary will come. So they tend to just spend more recklessly than people who are doing business, on like maybe you need money for this, you need money to go and do this, and a whole a lot of things. I was talking about people that just buy things, people coming into your offices telling you it's for credit, pay, buy now, pay 3 times. You're spending the money you've not worked for. You're like slaving for money, and you're not giving your money the opportunity to work for you. Don't enslave yourself to people selling things. Don't just focus on just buying things anyhow. Use your salary to build investment that will bring in passive income. Get out of that rat race. Don't keep working every day, and the next 20 years you're still dependent on your salary or even profit from your business. You have gotten a job now. By the end of 10 years, you shouldn't depend on your salary. Yes, after 10 years of you doing your job, you should have used from your salary enough investment to be giving you things that you can also do for that you can now spend on. And then the next thing, of course, is impressing others, because a lot of people, they live their lives just trying to impress people. So I'll buy this shoe, oh, I can't buy this cheap something, I can't buy that. I remember when my children were growing up, then we couldn't afford abroad or whatever. Like I said to you, the things that I know, that even when I couldn't afford it as such, we put the work towards it, was for our children's education, and we're always working on getting them, really good quality education, and putting them in great schools, and that has really worked. I would go when they were quite young. I would go to Kaswambachi in Kaduna, which is a place where they sell second hand. I buy them second hand clothing, second-hand shoes, second-hand school bags, and they look great. And I'm talking about really good brands, Clarks, all of those brands that they will use. And sometimes you get new ones in second-hand that they've not really used before. And when my contemporaries with our children's school, they'll see some of oh, this is so beautiful, where did you get it? I'm like, oh, I got it in Kasombachi. You see their face will change, they will not be looking one kind. What's my own? I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm trying to ensure that my children, dress very well. When we had our firstborn, I mean, we explored, we went, we bought all sorts of things, new things. With our second child, I discovered Kasombachi. I told my husband no. He was like, oh no, how can you buy? I say, oh God, no, let's save that money and put it to use. Second hand, literally almost everything I picked in second hand. When they are opening bail like this, now I think it was on Saturday they used to open bails for kids. I'll be there, I choose. I even bought clothes like 3 years, 5. I can buy clothes ahead. And then life is about where you are at. Just enjoy. Don't try to impress anyone. Enjoy yourself, do your thing. After a while, it got to a place where we now had enough. You understand? We now had enough. I could go to boutique in that same country. Then I was going to boutique. Then after a while, I got to a place that it's abroad that we used to shop. Like when I go with the kids, Dubai, we go there. I'll just buy their things, all the things they need, shoes, whatever. We go to London. We go to this. We just do their shopping. But I remember, was it 2015 myself? All I go to. That was what I was talking about, Primark. I said I love Primark a lot. Then by 2015, I had stopped. My son, 2015, my son was 16 years old, and my daughter was 13 years old. Yeah, 13 years old. And from there, I had stopped buying things for them. They were the ones that would just buy. I would just enter, sit down. They will go around, go and pick the things they need, bring it down, and then I will give them the card, or we'll go down and use the card, I will pay. So you see, in life, it's all about just be yourself, do things, don't try to overdo things you've not reached. See, stage by stage by stage, you will get there. Don't be ashamed of something. Me, I tell people, me no dey shame for that kind thing. No, I will not. I will go my way. We will get there. What I'll be ashamed of is things like stealing or looting or taking someone's money or whatever, and nothing. Keep that thing, however your thing is, that's how you meet it. I'm not interested. I'm not trying to impress anyone and stuff like that. So just grow your thing and just go on. There are a lot of people spend too much on trying to impress others who really do not even know don't even care about them. Truth matters. I said, do you want to contest for a political office? Though this conversation is about business and all of that, but I get asked that a lot. A few years ago, if you had asked me, I would tell you no. One of the things I know I will never do is appointment, whether appointment as minister, SSA, whatever. Did no, never. God forbid. Me, I will never. Please mark my words. Never do an appointment. But running for office, as in get be elected, maybe. And I'm looking at myself, and in 2021, I gave myself 10 years. I said by 2031 or near there, I will be able to say whether yes I want to. But for now, I love my freedom. I love to be able to do what I want to do. I travel a lot. Last year, I think I spent only 3 months in Nigeria. Like now, I just left Nigeria. I'm going to be in Aberdeen. I'm here now in Namibia. By next week, I'm going to be in Senegal. I do a lot of travel, and I love the freedom that I have to do it. As a public servant, if I'm elected, I won't be able to do all of this. I'm accountable to the people that voted for me, and I love my big mouth. You say one, I will say 10. As a public servant, I won't be able to do that. And so these are some of the things that have helped me. But in the meantime, like I said, yes, let's look at by 2031 or thereabout. It might be something that I will look forward to do. And then that's why I'm trying to get as much knowledge I can. I'm trying to understand governance. I'm trying to understand politics. I'm trying to understand economics. I'm trying to understand law, putting myself and learning all of these things as I go on. So those are some of the things that I've really been working toward. But one of the things I'm very interested in right now is getting people into political spaces. I will discuss more of that, as we go on. In Cameroon, we call them Okrika. Yes, even here, and Kogorang. Absolutely. Even here, we call them Okrika, bend down, and all of that. Quality second-hand bags, shoes, and clothes. I tell you. But some people are like, oh no, we don't wear Okrika. They only quality. I say, if you see my kids there, oh Lord have mercy, I love the way those shoes, those everything, handy bags, I get them the best. And they are all in grade. There's grade 1, grade 2, and all of that quality. And then so it's all about what you want to do. Just do your own thing. Let us know if you are in Canada. We need people like you, please. Truth matters. The ironic thing of it, I've never been to Canada. My husband has been to Canada several times. When I looked for visa, Canada refused to give me visa. They said that they don't think I will come back. If I think I'll come back, I should write an essay. I didn't even have their time. I just left them and went away. And ironically, that same Canadian embassy that denied me visa, they are following me on Twitter. But I just didn't bother. Even recently I've applied because I have a friend that has been really disturbing me that please I should come and visit. And that time I wanted to go and visit like one of my husband's nieces that were there. She had just gone there, so I wanted to go and be with them. And then I just couldn't. When they didn't give me visa, me and Kukuma move on. Maybe money I want to go spend there, so I stayed. But let's see if I'm there and I have enough time. Recently, like yesterday, I was thinking. I want to do something like I'm going to a town like who are the Nigerians. They'll be meeting Nigerians in the different. I love to travel anyway. Just say maybe Europe. Let me take all these countries in Europe. Can I meet the Nigerian community and stuff and do like that? Roland Banye, I sent you message. You did not read it. Is it message here? I don't know. I don't think I've seen the message. So can you write it again? Let me see what that message is. Ned says simplicity is very confusing and tough for fake. Absolutely. Imam Malik Chan says I'm in Canada. Okay, that's great. When are you coming to Europe? I'll be glad to welcome you here. Joseph Chukuma, you know that your Schengen visa. I have problem with visa. Visa that will stress my life. Well, light and life. Me know the two. I know they too get time. That one at Schengen visa, they too get wahala, and it's just 1 month. Like I'm currently in UK. I'm currently in Namibia, but by next week I'm gonna go. I came from Aberdeen. I'm in the UK. I'm in Scotland. I have a UK visa which is 10 years. So I've been using it this one, but that's Schengen. They will stress you. They will do this. So most time that's why I just avoid European countries, except when their government are the ones inviting me. Of course, they make it quick. Like there was a time I was in France. When was that? I was even in Scotland. They had to just do special this thing for me to get the visa from Scotland, and I went to France and stuff like that. So hey, if I'm there, Sha, I think one of these days I'll try and do something like that to say, how do I meet Nigerians that are there? Patsa, darling, thank you so much. Um, Okay, I think. Okay, Roland, I'm just seeing your question. And you say, ma, please advise me. I once sold pants and bra. I go to Kubwa village market to get them. Please, I want to really go into it, but I don't know how. Maybe imported. Please advise me. So this is okay, Roland. I'm just seeing your question. I didn't see it before, so I tried to see them. uh and go on. Okay, I think there are questions, some questions. So the thing that I would say to you, so you're already in the business, so this is it, and you're building your customer base. But I will not ask you, I will not advise you to go and start importing right now. What I will advise you is go and meet the people who are importing and be one of their distributors. So it's easier that way. And as you're going on, please work with integrity. You're honest, you're truthful. They'll begin to even give you little profit, and then you can increase it and sell it. So by the time you are doing all of this, what you're doing is that you'll be building a customer base. So as you're building your customer base, one day you have enough, and then you are importing, you also will go and import. So when you import, you already have a customer base that will take on what you're bringing, rather than now you go out, because for you to import, for it to be effective, you need a lot of money. You can't just go there and just buy little things and just this thing. Your fixed cost is already there. Is your fixed cost will be your fixed cost. If I'm going to, for example, we are both going to China. I'm going to China to go and buy 10 containers of bra and pants. You are going to China to go and buy not even half container, maybe you gather money quarter container. The same aircraft, we pay the same aircraft, we pay the same hotel, this thing. Or maybe I'm buoyant, I want to do a bigger hotel, but at the end of the day we will share these expenses on the bras that we are selling. So your own will now come out more expensive, so that other person, his own is going to come out cheap. So the best thing you need to do, go and get people who are already going there to bring, and just be buying from them, and just add your small money. So by the time you now are buoyant enough to be able to take either a container or a sizable amount, then you can now begin to go down to that place and import. Also, for those who do like importation, where they like, oh, they buy, they bring it down to them, sometimes you're not seeing these things. So I would always advise, start with the people who are here and get that, and be their distributor. Distribution is a very good way to get into business. Even if you want to do manufacturing, I advise people, start with distribution. Get your customer base, understand the market very well, understand the nitty-gritty, understand how it works, and then begin to either do manufacturing or anything that you would like to do. I want to buy land, can I buy peace? But yes, of course you can buy land, but make sure the lands are genuine, they are not fake, they are not somebody else's land, and what they're used for. Ensure the land has papers. Go to your government offices that deal with lands registry and find out what the status of it. Land is a very good investment, it's a very good business, though it might not be giving you money, a profit every day, but it's accumulating. The capital gain is very massive, and especially in Nigeria, it's one of those things that easily give you, financial, what do you call it now, that easily gives you financial literacy. So let me, okay. Thank, I think I'm benefiting from you, trust me. Oh, okay. Donzo Swaliho Donzo, thank you so much. Uh, yep, I think, yeah, I think I've caught up with what I've read. Please don't join politics. I think people love you as, no, I will join politics. So this is the thing. We have been conditioned to believe that politics is a bad thing. No, politics is not a bad thing. Politics and advocacy are the same. They're for the greater good. People in politics are supposed to ensure what is for the betterment of the people, just like the people in advocacy do. But what we have is that we have a lot of selfish people who are in politics, and they are for their selfish end, and we think that's what politics is. And so we don't want to get ourselves in there. People say they don't want to get their hands dirty. We need to clean up that space. We need to be people that we care, for the people working in there. So I've said in the last how many years, if I can't just wait by the side and be advocating on issues while some people are there destroying it. We can't continue that way. That would be incompetence of the highest order. So we need to get in there and ensure that the right people are there doing the right thing, and then we can relax, and the advocacy we'll be doing will not be asking for basic things, but for more, for more sophisticated things. There are people, their advocacy is just saying that trees should not be cut. While in Nigeria, who has time for trees when they are even cutting people down? So those are some of the things. Europeans don't stress to get any of our papers, but we dey share but to get another visa. May God help us in Africa. There are no border here, and I be look at how. Yes, absolutely. That's the problem that we have, and it's because our countries are not fixed, so they think anybody living here is going there to not return. So that's what good governance does. If you don't give good governance to your people, there's no accountability, there's no rule of law. Things are going to degenerate, and then you have a country where things poverty is rife and stuff like that, and then people will be jackpotting, out of the country. It's really sad. Yeah, Joseph Chukuma, absolutely. I do understand. But it's always that the visas are so short. It's usually okay. I saw recently they are doing 3 months or something like that. I beg. And then the wahala you now use, that has always been my this is that stress of visa and stuff. So, but like you said, yes, I will try and get that, because I really want to do this thing. Yeah, Pablo said, yeah, and you're very right. They've made it a political the discussion. So I'm gonna go back now to the issue of impressing others. So please don't try to impress others. Don't take credit to go and buy things just because you think someone is out there that you want to do. Instead of trying to impress others, try impressing your bank account. So please try and impress your bank account. At this stage, it should be all about investment and financial independence. Being financially independent is a simple thing. It's not about having high income. It's about saving from your earnings and investing into projects that will yield passive income or appreciate over time. This if it's one yielding passive income, which will one day be enough to take care of your needs. If you earn high income and you spend recklessly without saving and investing, you will only end up poorer and poorer, earning so much and yet so poor. Story of Nigeria. Another thing that we'll talk about also now is helping others. Helping others is very good. It's an act of humanity, and most times the more we give, the more we receive. There's a saying that those who give, it is not because they have that they give, it is because they give that they have. However, and I'm talking to every one of us here, and even including myself, however, we should not help to the detriment of ourselves or our families. There are a lot of people, they will help even when at home there's no food, even when somebody, because they can't say no to people, they will help people. They will go and borrow money to give person. Somebody has come to you that they need money, you don't have money. Why can't you tell the person, no, sorry, I don't have? Be honest, be truthful. No, but you go and borrow to give them, and you put yourself into more problem. Your family have not eaten, you've not, the things, your basic things you're supposed to do for your family, you've not been able to do it, but yet you're spending so much outside because you can't tell people no. So you must learn how to tell people no. You cannot help the poor by being poor yourself. And so that's one thing that you should there's somebody I know who left the needs of his immediate family and helped mostly his siblings. And when he lost his job, they turned their back on him. He didn't help his wife start a business nor get a job. And when he lost his job, there was nothing for the family to fall back on. Plan with your spouses. Two heads, they say, is better than one. No matter what your spouse is, they are close to you. When you have kids, no matter what there will be a relationship between you. I know some men feel one shouldn't plan with their wife, That was during our grandparents' days. Plan together. That's the easiest way to make money. And of course, I had spoken about how women are, are, are able to save more, are able to start with small, and then they keep going. If you can put heads together and harness all that you have, before you know it, you'll be financially independent. It's easier achieving financial independence with your spouse than alone, except if you married brand loving and extravagant one. Because yeah, there are some spouses that now they will drain your money. You're trying to save, they're trying to buy all sorts of things, they're buying credit, they're doing this, they're doing that. You end up, you really don't have anything, both of you. So as much as possible, talk about your finances, work towards them. Finally, remember, there are people that will suddenly be your friends that were not there when you didn't have a job. So this was me telling my cousin and my brother. They will be all over you. Just keep a cool head. Keep reminding yourself of the need to get as much investment out of your income from the job as possible, because one day you would leave that job. Either you're fired or you're retired. You should start planning your retirement the day you get your job. So if you are in a job now, start planning your retirement. If I retire today, what do I have to fall back on? So those are the investments, that you're doing. Don't get carried away. Don't go for me big boy or big girl and start looking down on others. Treat all with respect. Finally, where you are working, give your boss his due respect. One day you're going to be one too. And as much as possible, if you're doing a work, make sure that you're doing the best job ever. Don't do anything halfway. Go extra mile, go extra way, do extra thing. Always make your employer feel that, if this person leave this company, how are we going to cope? So that, be valuable. Because sometimes there are people who slack on business. They don't do the things they're supposed to do. They just do anyhow. They just feel that, yes, they are not going to care. No, 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 no. Put your effort, put your everything, and make sure that that person is the one that is thinking about keeping you more in that job than anything else. I think, yeah, that's the end of the advice I had for them, and I hope we're able to learn something from it. So I'm going to look at some of the questions that are out here, and we'll begin to round up. I also have to round up now. Tomorrow, I need to wake up by 6:30, do my 10 kilometers walk before we go off. We start at 9. We're leaving the hotel at 8:30. So, and then I have school. Another new semester has started. I need to start forming my notes now and all of that. So let me quickly look at the questions and get back. Very true. You want to stay marketable, educate yourself, get certification, focus on your knowledge, skills, and credentials. Absolutely. And one of the things I always say to people, if you on your CV, you must add something new to your CV every 6 months. So like these days of online learning, a lot of certification out there, a lot of things out there. Please, we don't have excuses. Just go on and ensure that you're doing something and you're improving on yourself and you're learning yourself. Dr. Apoki suggests fueling philanthropy with profits and not capital. Absolutely. And you should always set aside certain amount of money that you're going to use for your philanthropy. For example, okay, my income, I'm going to use 10% or I'm going to use 5%. Are you a man or a woman? I am whatever you think I am. That's why I tell people I don't do labor. Whatever you think I am, absolutely, that's why I am. And so put a certain amount aside, whether it's 5%, it's 10% or something. This is how much I'm going to use for philanthropy. This is how much I'm going to use as gift and whatever. And if you exhaust it, that's it. Anybody that comes, oh, I'm sorry, I've used up what I have for this thing, probably next month or whatever. So those are also somewhat, because at the end of the day, if you keep using your capital, your business is going to fall down, everything is going to go down, and you can't help the poor by being poor yourself. All of you will now come down and be poor, and that's it. Everybody is in one place. Yeah, budgeting is also very, very important. Well, at least you got some sound ideas. Thank you. So that's a huge problem. Even me, I've struggled with debt. Okay, let me go back and see where that question is coming from. And I think, yeah, one of the things, there's no problem about debt. So it depends on what the debts are. Is it good debts or bad debts? We've spoken about this before. Good debts are the ones that you use to buy investment. If you're borrowing money to go and do down payment and do a mortgage, get people rental property, get people renting paying. That's good debt. If you're just borrowing money to go on holiday, that's bad one. One of the things I think with like those of you who live in the Western world where you have credit cards are actually very dangerous, I tell you, because what it keeps making you do is that you're spending money into your future. You probably can be like 20, 30 years and you spent money up until your 60s, you just be spending recklessly, because some people just, oh, I'm just going to pay that minimum amount, I'm just going to pay that who is going to pay the other extra? So that's why you see people, they hardly can retire. They are old, they are working, they have to work. If they don't work in a month, they can't pay their mortgage. Before you know what's happening, they throw them on the streets, they become homeless and all of that, because they've used their youth spending their future. Their credit card is you spending your future, except if you're disciplined to know how much is it that you're supposed to say, how much you are earning, how much you must spend and you must not spend, and stuff like that. And they always make it, oh, buy this, you change the furniture in your house, you buy this, you change your car, you go and do this, you go and do that, but you're not owning these things. You're just using your future to fund the present that you have now. And then the present is when you're more stronger, when you're more daring, even mentally, when you can supposed to be able to achieve more money. And then you're using the future where you're slowing down, where you can't work as much, to be funding the present where you should be have been working as much and saving for the future and putting things there. So yeah, I absolutely tell you that one of the things, those credit cards can be a big problem. But so what you need to do is to manage. And the first thing you need to do, if you're going to walk out of those debt, look at this richest man in Babylon. There's something towards that he explained. Just take a breather, just stop buying. If you say today, I'm not going to buy anything, I'm not going to buy shoe, I'm not going to buy clothes, I'm not going to go on holiday, give yourself like the next 3 years. Some people can do 5 years. You're not buying new clothing, you're not buying new shoe, you're not buying this, you're not buying that. Lockdown. And then sit down and say, okay, out of my salary, how much can I use to pay debt? How much can I use for this? How much can, and just go on, go on with that, and get yourself out of these debts that you have, and begin to build wealth as you go on. Okay, so I'm just trying to read what this thing here. So because we are coming to the end of the question, somebody is asking me what's my view on LGBTQ. I really don't have any view. Everybody has their own life to live. That's their personal business. But one of the things I will tell you is that uh, uh, this whole LGBTQ, I was 10 years old when I saw men getting married to men. Nobody told anybody they had to do it. When it was criminalized in UK, US, and all of that, Africans were doing it, and it doesn't, nobody cared. Just do your thing and just move on. I grew up in Kano. Actually, they call them Endo de Nkwakuli. They did what they do. As of 10 years old, they would do their weddings, they would get married. No, but just like today in Africa and some parts of the world, it's common to marry two wives, but it's a crime in Europe and US, in the Western world. And tomorrow, of course, you don't do that in Nigeria, then you are not in Nigeria. Go and check your Nigerian history very well. I see people with, oh, men don't plait hair, it's not in our culture to wear flimsy. Go and check your history. That's when you see what it is. But anyway, we're talking about financial independence, and I think we've come to the end of today's topic. Yeah, Richest Man in Babylon is really a very good book. And I think if to an extent I've been able to answer some of those questions that I need to answer. Yeah, so thank you. Hopefully we're able to meet tomorrow 9 p.m. Nigerian time. We'll continue with our business discussion. Tomorrow's topic, I think it's going to be on how do we get money for our business. Yep, raising money for our business. That's the topic for tomorrow. So, and let's also not forget, on Sunday we're going to be reviewing the book, the second chapter of the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. So please read that book, get the book, read the book, and let's come together. It's usually interactive. I put in the link where people can also come on and explain to us what they have read about the book, and I hope we'll get that and make it interesting. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining Papless and the rest. Unkogo, Ryan. It's been a great time. Bless TV, thank you so much. Obedient Child, thank you. Joseph Chukuma, you guys have been here. Awesome. Small book, yeah, easy to read and very, it has a lot. It has a lot. So hopefully we all meet again tomorrow, inshallah, at 9 p.m. Nigerian time. And which is 10 p.m. Namibian time, because I'm currently in Namibia. But hey, let's get to work and let's get it doing. So thank you. God bless you all. Bye.